What up, everybody? Ghost Season 1, Tariq had a professor named Jabari Reynolds, who was also a one-time successful author whose most recent projects had failed. His first book was a success because it was real, based upon his relationship with his ex, Carrie Milgram. His publisher told him he needed to come up with something real again, just like his first book, or he was going to have to drop him. Jabari talked to Carrie about it, and she told him to find another story. And that's what he did as he started writing about Tariq St. Patrick and his drug-dealing, murdering family. When he shared this story with his publisher, he was feeling it, but needed to know how the story would end. He asked if the kid would end up dying, going to jail, or graduating and going legit. But Jabari didn't know. And as book 2 comes down to the final 5 episodes, that's also the question that we have to ask. What is the fate of Tariq St. Patrick? In Season 1, Tariq told Tasha, "You know how Ghost always used to say that drug dealers either end up dead or in jail? Well, I think I found another way." But it was never revealed what Tariq had up his sleeve and what this other way was. Ghost told Tasha when he first revealed his plans to get out the game and asked her what if Club Truth could be something more. When she told him it was less, he told her, "I don't know any old, wrinkled up, retired drug dealers." At the end of Ghost Season 3, Tommy Egan showed back up in New York to kill Tasha. But after they hashed things out, Tommy found Tariq after Tariq showed up at Kate's looking for him. And during this conversation, Tommy told Tariq that he has to be either all the way in or all the way out, either a civilian or a gangster. He then claimed that's what fucked Ghost up. But at the end of the day, I don't think Tommy was right about that point with Ghost. Because from my perspective, he had finally made it out the game despite efforts from everyone around him, including Tommy, to keep him in the game. And it was Tariq, the person that he least expected, that took him out in the end. Now Tariq is standing at a fork in the road at the Season 4 mid-season break as the episode concluded with Tariq and Diana going to get an ultrasound, and her telling Tariq she wants to name her son after her father, Lorenzo. When Tariq tried explaining to Diana the best way he could protect his family is by getting to the top of the game, Diana wasn't feeling that and told Tariq that that doesn't work for her and walked out of the hospital. This was after telling Tariq earlier in the episode that she wants everyone around their child to be clean. Tariq and Diana both grew up with parents in the game, but at the same time had two completely different experiences. Ghost tried keeping his children as far away from the life as possible, living in a penthouse in Tribeca, attending private schools. If he had his way, Tariq would have grown up like Anya, never having a clue what he actually did for a living. Possibly even going all the way legit before they could even find this out. But it was Ghost's past that came back to haunt him in the form of Kanan Stark, who poisoned Tariq's mind against Ghost and revealed to him what Ghost really did for a living. So with that said, if Tariq ever does want to get out the game and keep his family safe, most likely it would require a fresh start in a new city. This could potentially be setting up the next book with Tariq and Diana moving to another city with their child, with Tariq trying to go legit. Since I got out the game, I've only been back to the city I grew up in maybe 2 or 3 times, and usually not for more than a night. Where I live now, I've never sold as much as a dime bag. While Ghost kept Tariq insulated and even told him that he would rather kill him than let him get into this life when Tariq asked Ghost to teach him the game. Diana had no choice but to learn the game from an early age. We saw the clip from the flashback scene where Monet forced her kids to bag up the product, and we know that she forced them into life also. In Season 1, Diana told Monet that she was better than Zeke. Why can't she go to school to play basketball also? But Monet wouldn't let her because WNBA players don't make enough money to help the family. Not understanding it wasn't about that, but what Diana wanted to do with her own life. Because of this, Diana had hatred for the game, unlike Tariq, and this is why they're currently bumping heads about how they're going to be raising their son. So the question is, what will Tariq's choice be, in or out? It's been said by Courtney Kemp that a woman would come into Tariq's life at some point and make him decide between the game and the boardroom. We thought this would be Lauren, but now it looks like it's going to be Diana. The hallucination Tariq had on his acid trip might have been partially foretelling Tariq's future, as we saw him in the penthouse with Diana walking in with young Lorenzo, and as Tariq is holding his baby, he saw Kane pointing the gun at him, possibly indicating the always present danger that comes from the game. Then Tariq was surrounded by a wall of bricks, with Diana yelling, "You lied. You promised me that you would get out." Will this be how it plays out? That Tariq lies to Diana about getting out the game. Tariq could potentially try to live a double life behind Diana's back without her knowing that he's in the game. Just like what he was doing with Noma, trying to get back in the game without her knowing about it. She told Tariq that she overestimated him and that she thought Tariq was a man of his word. Might also be the same way Diana feels when she finds out that Tariq is hustling behind her back. At the same time, Tariq could really intend to get out the game and find himself turning back to the game, navigating in and out of the game whenever he sees fit. Because as much as Ghost wanted out the game, whenever he was in a bind financially, he always went back to what he knew, hustling. Everybody remembers Tasha telling Ghost that she thought he would be the biggest drug dealer in New York when they first met, when he was talking to her about getting out the game. But at the end of season 1, when Truth got shut down, Ghost called Lobo and told him he wants all the product that Lobo's has, and that he would be the biggest drug dealer in New York City. In season 5, when Ghost needed money for the QCP, what did he do? Turned to Tommy and went back to the old arrangement of Ghost cleaning the money through Club Truth. And we already know that Tariq does the same thing. Whenever he needs the money, he hustles. When Tasha went to jail and he needed money for Davis, he hustled. Even at the beginning of season 4, when Noma forced him out the game. Tariq was broke for maybe a couple weeks and said that wasn't the life for him, and got back in the game, even risking his own life in the process if Noma were to find out. So even if Tariq sincerely tells Diana he will get out, he most likely won't stay out for too long. We could also see Tariq tell Diana that he'll get out the game when Lorenzo's born, but he's going to hustle for the next 7-8 months to stack up some money, depending on how far she is along, then get out as soon as the baby's born. And that sounds good. It might even be his plan. But will it be that easy to get out? Because other times when Ghost thought he was out the game, he was then forced back into the game whether he liked it or not. Like when Dean revealed himself as Milan, or when Jason forced Ghost to start working with Tommy again. Diana might want Tariq to get out the game, but in the end, the choice might not even be his to make. Then there's also the fact that Diana's season 4 description says that she'll morph into the woman she so desperately tried not to become, her mother. So at the same time, it might actually be Diana who changes her mind and decides to work with Tariq side by side in the game, like Monet and Lorenzo or Tasha and Ghost. But if Tariq was to get out the game and go legit, what do you think Tariq's legit hustle will be? I've talked about in other videos Tariq getting into the music industry, or possibly he follows after Ghost's footsteps as a nightclub owner. But ironically, if Tariq was to get out the game, graduate, and go legit, this is actually the life that Ghost wanted for him all along. And when Tariq spoke at Ghost's funeral, he said that Ghost wanted to give him the life that he could never have, and that he was the manifestation of what Ghost could never be. So will Tariq actually live out the life that Ghost always wanted him to have and go legit? Or will he stay in the game? Let me know what you think in the comments.